Hello everyone, I'm back and I am working on my Field Guide to the Birds journal Lapbook. And I got some stuff done and I was thinking, oh well, I should turn the camera on before I get too far ahead and show you where I am. So I can't remember where I left off. So I have glued on the fabric for the manufactured spine, and I've glued on the fabric to reinforce the inner spines. So it's right now, this is how it looks. In addition, I have glued on the fabric on the inside, and I made this, I used some eyelets and I made this into a TN style elastic because I want to have a journal to go in here. And then I covered up the fabric. So we've reinforced these spines with fabric last time, but they were really pretty floppy and flimsy. So I wanted to reinforce it with a little bit of cardstock from that paper pad. And then, so I cut them to fit on the inside here. But then I thought, well, you know, that's a lot of real estate there. And I wanted to make use of it. So I thought I would add elastic. So before I glued the paper down, I used eyelets. I punched 2 eyelets, and then I put this kind of flat, let me show you, this kind of flat elastic. So this elastic that you use in here, I use a round one, but I had this kind of flat one, and I just overlapped the 2 ends in the back, and then I hand sewed them so they won't pull apart. And I also glued them down and glued them to back when I glued them down. So this one is at the top because I'm thinking this one will be for like a drawing pencil or something like that. I'll include a flat pen with this. This is kind of loose, so it might have to be 2 drawing pencils. And then on this one, I was thinking that I will include some paintbrushes, so for sketching in there. So that is my thought on that one. So then that kind of brought me over to this first panel. And what I want for this first panel, I'm taking a lot of information. Let me just say it right here, get it out there in the open, from Nick the Booksmith's Lapbook videos. She's done at least 2 that I'm thinking of. There might be a 3rd one, but I know she's done 2. And I've taken inspiration from her before on the other lap books that I've made. So this first piece, I want to have an envelope, and I want the envelope to flip. So what I have here is, you can see it's just not a vintage hanging file folder, but it is a piece of a hanging file folder. And I have just cut and scored it so that the back fits on that panel, and the front will fold in like that. And I folded the flap down. I gave each one a 1/4 inch spine. So the bottom has a 1/4 inch spine and the top has a 1/4 inch spine, so that there is some space in there. And I think I'm also going to make an accordion edge, so that will be expandable. And I made a faux whale tail punch. And the way I make my faux whale tail punches, here, let me show you real quick, is I take, let me see, just grab a piece of paper here. Here, I have some craft paper here. So I make I punch this is an EK Express 2-inch punch. I love these punches. I'm going to slowly replace all of my punches with punches by this company because these are the best ones. I love them. And then, so I make a 2-inch circle, and then I fold it in half. And then I take my 1-inch punch, and this one is a Fisker's, I believe. And it's fine. It's starting to weaken. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a hole in the center of that, of the base bit of that. And I lined the corner of this. Here, I'm going to stand up so you can see. There's that hole. So I lined the corner of the of the punch up at the corner of the center of that hole. So I just get a quadrant punch. So it's like a quarter of this circle. And it gives me a really nice faux whale tail punch. I do have a die cut for whale tail punches now, but it's just not as convenient. Like if I were to mass produce, I would have to mass produce them and spend a day just, you know, cutting whale tail punches. And that I've done that. That works okay. But you have to know exactly what papers you're going to use and how you want it to look. So this works also. So then I put an eyelet in there. So, because I want to have a little ring. So then I took, I do have a couple of pieces left of this kind of, this is a vintage hanging file folder piece. I don't have a few pieces of this left. So I wanted it to contrast. So I just made, it's got 2 layers of that, 2 1-inch hole punches, and I glued them together so it's nice and sturdy. So then I am just going to put that about where I want it to go and use my awl. Sorry, I have to hold it up so I can see if that's right. Yep. And then I will pierce a hole through both the hole and the card. And then I will grab a, I'll grab a brad. Now I have these brads, and these are the teeny tiny ones and kind of small ones that come from Recollections, and they come in a variety of sizes. But then I also have some of these that are kind of interesting and wonky. Like this one has like a thumb grip to it, and I wonder, I think I'm going to go with that. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger, a little oversized. And so I need a bigger hole for that. And it's going to be hard to get through. That's okay. I like the way that looks. And then I'll slide that through there. And when I do these kinds of things, I feel like it's always important to do it before you close this all up, because I always like to then take some washi and cover those legs up, so that when you're putting things in and out, it doesn't catch. And then with all washi, even the good Tim Holtz kinds, I always give it a little extra swish of glue. And then I'll just cover that up. And it'll be less likely to catch. And then I will take some twine, and I have baker's twine in red, white, and blue, and I have some baker's twine in red and white. I think I'll use the red and white baker's twine. I have some of this kind of sisal baker's twine, but it's kind of thick, and it's great for some things, but I like the contrast that this is going to give us as well. So I'll just cut some of that. Oh, that's too much. Oh dear. That's okay. And I will slide that through there, just like when you're doing a tag. And this will go like that. And then this will be able to go around and hang down. And I'll just, well, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'll tie it off at the end. I have to make the gussets, the side gussets. And I could could conceivably make another thingy divider, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just make a gusset. So what I have for gusset making is you know how the hanging file folders all come with one of these with the metal bit through it? I don't know. Do you guys have any use for those metal bits? Let me know if you know of somebody who has a use for those metal hanging bit. I found this one to be super sharp. And I think I'm just going to use this for my gusset. Is this a double? No. I mean, that's, how wide is this one? Oh, I can do it on my board. This one is about 1 inch. You really need it to be about 2 inches so that you can make a fold every 1/4 inch. And that is exactly 2 inches. So I could make a fold every 1/4 inch. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that this is too compromising? Let's see. Let's try it. See what happens. So it needs to be about that tall. And if I fold this back here, and I fold that back of there, and I give it a good squish with my bone folder, it's kind of interesting. There's not going to be too much pressure on that. I think that's okay. All right, so let's do 2 like that. So I'm just gonna take this one and cut it to the same size, the same height-ish. And I will fold each of these back. Oops, I had my good bone folder out already. And this one will get folded back to the top. So each one of these folds is a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to, so it always takes me a minute to remember, oh, there's some gummy glue there. Just rub that off. Which way to do it. If I do it this way, you maximize the height. Yeah. So like this. If I do it this way, it's going to limit the width of what you can put in. But if you do it this way, it won't limit the width of what you put in. Okay, and I am going to use, and yeah, it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, but that's okay. I'm going to use some handy dandy double-sided sticky tape for this. So it has been a lovely long weekend. It was absolutely insane here yesterday. It was, so we live in Massachusetts, and you know, Little Women and all those classic Thoreau on Walden Pond. It's supposed to be cold, starting to get cold in November. It was 75 degrees yesterday. Absolutely cuckoo loco. It's just mind-boggling to me. And it was not as warm today, but it was still pretty warm. So that's gonna go like that. And I'm going to get that. Come on, you. It did not stay down. Stay down, you. Down, down. Maybe I need to use this. Okay. So now I have to refigure out which way does it go, this way or does it go this way? It goes this way. So I want to maximize my space inside the envelope. Yeah, that's okay. And then this one, I think maybe I will put a second run along there because it's not quite as wide as it ought to be. But it was a lovely evening. I mean, we did errands yesterday and we did errands today because I forgot I had to get some materials for a lab for my students tomorrow. And we took the dogs for a walk down by the water. It was really pretty. We have a wonderful property that the local Lands Trust owns, and they built a handicapped accessible raised boardwalk. And it's nice when it's super wet because it rained a lot today. And it's super soggy and the ground is super soggy and wet. You can take the dogs for a walk without everybody becoming a muddy mess. And it was just as the sun was getting low and the clouds were all bright and shiny on the other side of the harbor. And it was just really pretty. We saw a deer, big, fat, healthy looking deer. It's bow season right now, but I forgot about that. Are we gonna let that bother me? Could I snip off? No, I think I'll do more damage if I try and snip that off than if I just leave it. All right, I have another width here. Is this a better width? This is a better width. Yeah, it's kind of hard, sad for me because I figure, you know, it's Sunday, hunting isn't allowed on Sundays, but everybody knows that area is chock-a-block with deer, so I'm worried about my poor deer friend. And the dogs were very excited. They were like, see, we told you there was a deer. The puppy, the 8-month-old, they're both husky mixes, but the 8-month-old girl has quite the prey drive. She loves to chase the bunnies in the yard, and had she been off leash, which we don't do because she's thoroughly unreliable, but had she been, she would have bolted after that deer. Come on, you. Oh, this is stubborn. Sticky tape. There we go. Did I get it? Kind of. There we go. Okay. So now, got my sweater. Just going to I wonder, do you think I can, I could just get rid of that little bit right there without causing too much damage, because it is bothering me, especially since the sticky bit was sticking up. Well, it is supposed to be vintage, don't you know? Ha, got it. And then I'll try and do the same on this side. to go too far because I don't want to cut through the back after all that work. Okay, I'm getting there, guys. Hang in there. I'm almost done. And then I'll show you. I'm going to make this a flippy outy thing. Wow. This is stubborn stuff. I think maybe I need a new blade. All right, I'll finish that later. Okay, but anyway, so now I have a gusseted envelope. Yep, I like that. Oh, you know, I could just snip that with scissors, couldn't I? Silly me. Were you guys yelling at me? Saying, Jessica, you're being daft. There we go. Voila. Perfecto. All right, so then this will roll around like that, and then I'll just tie a knot. I should actually, you know what? I'm not going to tie a knot. I tied a knot. Did not mean to tie a knot, but I tied a knot. Well, I can untie that knot because I might want a charm or something on there. So let me bring in my book. Got confused there for a sec. And it's going to go on this panel like this, but I want to glue this onto the back. And have it be a flippy outy. And then I can put whatever paper I'm going to put down on top of this. And I'm just thinking, this has all these gusset things. Do I want it to be, how gusseted do I want it to be? How much? I've got what I think will be quite a bit of room, but I'm going to put some stuff on this side. And it's going to fold out that way. Oh, I should have thought about a magnet. Oh, but if it's folding out this way, that'll be okay. Because I'll open it like that and it won't flop up. So it has to open that way. Okay, now this piece here, let's get this to the right height. So it's going to go right along the edge like this. Get it lined up, and my scissors. Okay. So I got out, I have this, which has been thoughtfully frayed by the puppy. And I thought I would reinforce this seam with this tape, and I think I'll do it on this side like this. Because I really don't want to have a flippy outy bit that stops flippy outing because it breaks. So I'm just going to reinforce. This is Tim Holtz's fabric tape. It's a woven fabric that's been printed on, and it has a really nice texture, and it's super sturdy. So I don't think I need to worry about the gussets, because I think this fabric will kind of make it. I'm just gonna, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna make it a rounded. I'm gonna round it a little bit. And then I think I'll just glue this side here. And then glue this side here. And if I do that, yeah, I like that. Okay, so gluing this here, and I'm gonna just round this, right? So that will come like that. This will flip like this. And it'll leave some space underneath there if I want for some things. And then this will close like this. And this will close like this. And if it is, okay. Doesn't leave a lot of space for back right here. And this is going to have to leave room for the journal. Okay. All right. So maybe I will glue it more like this. So that the point all right, you know what? I'm going to stop this here because I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to think about it, and I'll let you know what I decide. So tune in next time to find out what I've done. I hope you have a great evening. Thanks so much for watching. If you could, please click like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.